Hey gang, it is November 30th. I'm back at Bohemian National Cemetery in Chicago. And a little update, that is the family Novotny. We're still waiting for little Willie's gravestone. They were killed in the Eastland disaster. I'll put the link up in the description box and up above for that episode. But I was just checking with the administrator here and they said that his stone is coming in December 7th. So about a week away. So before the snow flies, hopefully I can come back and we can take a look at his new gravestone that should have his picture. But actually I'm here today for another story that I wanted to tell you all about, and I want to give the shout out to David Olson, who's one of our viewers, who was watching one of the videos as I was walking actually towards this grave. And let's take a walk over there. It's a little boy. His name was Lester. And it's a stone that we passed with a picture that was remarkable. But what was more remarkable is the story that is behind that picture of this little boy. And it's a very sad story, and it really hits me close to home. He was in, well, I think grade school, maybe a freshman in high school. We'll see at the stone how old he was. I think he was 13 or 14, and he did not make his grades. He did not get good grades at his winter exam. And I guess that he was chided and made fun of. And you have to wonder, well, there was a newspaper article. I'm going to put the article up so that you can read it. But what happened was I guess it was his midwinter exam, and he didn't get good grades. And he was teased or chided so much. You have to wonder, could it have been the students? Could it have been the parents, putting the pressure on? Could it have been the administrators or the teachers or the school? Just the way things were set up back then. But the poor boy took it so hard that he shot himself in the heart and killed himself. And as we walked by that stone, we had no idea what the story was. So David, thanks for pointing that out. As I head towards his grave, we'll just take a look at a few other pictures. There's so many here. It's just so many stories as we walk along. I gotta tell you though, it really hits me. It really hits close to home for me, because when I was that age, I was in 6th or 7th grade. I went to a school called, what's now called the Culver School. It was a very good school in Niles, Illinois. And I could totally sympathize, because I was put through some, we all are. When you're at that tender age, you don't know what's going on, but I was put through actually a living hell. The principal there, a new principal, his name was George P. Murphy, a horrible man. And he was the principal. Now, I had not gotten great grades, and I, puppy love, had a girlfriend. Well, not a girlfriend, but you're writing love notes. And they're not even love notes, they're just notes. Her name was Judy Moy, or is Judy Moy. She lives in California. But anyway, I would save, we'd make these notes back then, and we'd make them you'd fold them up into little triangles. I don't know if you guys ever did that. I don't know what the heck, but we did that. And I had a little box, and I saved those notes in my locker. Now, our locker had these combination locks, but in the middle there was a key, a master key, I guess so the administrators could get in. And what Mr. Murphy would do is he would go into my locker. I don't know why he picked on me. Maybe he just didn't like me. And he would call me into his office and he would close the door, and he took the box. I was horrified, and he spilled it out on his desk in front of me. And I remember him saying to me, "So this is what you do. Is this what you do with your time?" You know, basically telling me I was a failure. And I'll tell you what, there were other things. He made me break down and cry. That horrible man. I think he smiled. He got a kick out of it. And I went back to look for him when I was in my 30s and 40s. I was going to have a word with him, but he had died, I heard. Can't find his grave. We tried to look for his grave. George P. Murphy, the principal at Culver School, a horrible man. A horrible man. But that's enough on him. But I sympathize. I completely sympathize with Lester, because in some way or another, Lester was put through the peer pressure, or the parents, or maybe the teachers or the administrator like me, basically telling him that you are a failure. And this little boy here, who was born December 15th, 1913, and had shot himself January 19th, 1927. Just horrible. Just, God, it breaks my heart. And there's a picture. There's a picture of a precious boy who had his whole life ahead of him, if only he knew. If only he didn't do that. It says on top, our son. His parents must have been devastated. So who knows? But it is a lesson. And we still live today. Our students, we talked about teen suicide. We visited some graves recently. It's tough. It's a tough age, and you've got to support the kids instead of chide them. I'm going to read to you what David Olson sent to me, and I'll put the article up like I said, but kills himself after flunking, quote unquote. Chicago, January 20th. So this article was written the day after he killed himself, Lester. Chided because he failed to pass his midwinter school examinations. Lester Perizek, a 13-year-old grade school pupil, shot himself through the heart, dying almost instantly. So hopefully, Lester, you're resting in peace, and it's really too bad we can't rewind the clock and have that talk. I would have loved to have that talk with you, Lester, to say, it's okay, buddy. We're going to try again. We're going to try harder. It's okay to fail. Life is full of failures. It's okay. And not be teased, and not be pressured, and not to be told, you're not a failure, my son. Not a failure. Rest in peace, Lester. Rest in peace.